Bryce Young's debut probably didn't go as he imagined. The number 1 overall pick from Alabama completed just 20 of 38 passes for 146 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. And the interceptions were bad. Not necessarily on their own, but taken together, it's hard not to wince seeing a guy get baited into the same trap twice. Let's talk about how the Falcons got these gifts priority mailed right into their hands. First off, I want to say I like the play design from the Panthers based on the nickel package they're getting from Atlanta. The Falcons had been playing quarters coverage on a lot of passing downs with deeper safeties. Young will be targeting his tight end Hayden Hurst on this in route, while the other receivers will use their gravity to pull the coverage towards them and create space in the middle. Now, when I said Young will target Hayden Hurst, I meant he'll stare him down and read only one side of the field. You can see that on the front angle where his helmet follows 81 from the jump. And on this one side of the field, everything goes as planned. The corner gets sucked to the outside receiver, the safety backs up to cover his deep quarter of the field, and the linebacker gets caught in the middle of all of it. If we ignore everything happening on the other side of the field, Young throws this with some decent anticipation. But safety Mykal Walker sees Young is ignoring everything on that side of the field too. So, while it may have been dangerous in a vacuum to leave Adam Thielen as he waves a "hey, I'm open" hand, Walker knows he isn't actually a threat. He watches Young's eyes, sits on the route, and robs him clean. On the second interception, I think we need to be fair to Young and say this one is a little different than the first one when we look at it more closely. But the problem of ignoring the middle safety persists. On this one, the Falcons look to be playing cover 1, with one deep safety covering the middle and man coverage everywhere else. He will be targeting Terrace Marshall in the same area as he did Hurst, and Jonathan Mingo will take Thielen's role as guy running go route that nobody respects. Young does move his eyes from one side of the field to the other on this one, rather than stare his target down, but it doesn't seem like he's actually reading the other side of the field in earnest. While the eye movement may have been schemed up to push this safety over to the other side to open up the middle of the field for Marshall, check out where this linebacker goes post-snap after showing the blitz. He moves over to help out in the short route, and now the look is mucked up for Young to fit anything in there short. Meanwhile, Walker holds his ground, and Young doesn't realize that, and so his eyes snap to the middle of the field, and he fires one right to where the safety is waiting. I think a big reason why these plays didn't work was because of Carolina and Young's unwillingness to throw anything past 15 yards throughout almost 3/4 of the game. His passing chart and 1.4 completed air yards per attempt tell the story here. Everything was screens, checkdowns, and short passes near the line of scrimmage. Now, that's not to say the Panthers didn't do some smart things in the short game to help Young out. A lot of their run plays used receiver motion to pull defenders away, while building off of these with end-arounds to keep Atlanta honest, and then putting that together in the passing game to better identify zone and man coverages. I also thought this was a cool cross-field screen for Hurst in the middle of the field that they opened up off play action. Still, I can't help but wish they had used the play action to take a shot deep earlier in the game. When defenses realize you won't throw it there, it lets safeties enter playmaker mode rather than protection mode. Late in the third, backed up in their own end zone, the Panthers finally started throwing some deep balls. Just look at how wide open this one gets because the safety is much more concerned with robbing another shallow route rather than helping out behind him. Unfortunately, Young overthrew both of these attempts, which would ultimately just be too little, too late. Then again, maybe we shouldn't have expected all that much from the guy. First overall pick quarterbacks haven't fared all that well in their debuts over the last few decades, with a combined record of 10, 27, and 1. Out of those 38 quarterbacks, Young's performance ranked 28th in terms of passer rating. But it wasn't all bad for him. On this pass, for example, he showed a nice ability to read the defense pre-snap. He moves the running back out wide and gets into a super spread formation, and knowing where he goes with the ball, it looks like he sees this linebacker matched up on Thielen with inside leverage. Thielen's route is a perfect beater for this, as he starts it inside to keep the backer flat-footed and then beat him towards the sideline. Unfortunately, this one didn't count since Thielen got called for offensive pass interference for the D-lineman giving him a shove for some reason, but I still thought it was something nice that Young put out on film. As for passes I liked that did count, I thought this one demonstrated what's possible for Young. I love the confidence he shows sitting in the pocket here and throwing a dart through the middle to beat the coverage chasing after the in route. He can make these tight throws, and when he steps into passes and looks confident, we can see him drive the ball into nice windows for his receivers. We see that especially here on this out route he throws. While there isn't much reading going on here, he essentially just stares down the one guy the whole way, but he gets it there perfectly on time to this guy. The hope, obviously, is that he can keep these mechanics going when he's asked to do more with his eyes in mind. Too often, easier decisions took an extra half second and hitch for him to make. These type of throws just have to be automatic and made in sync with his receivers for him to be successful going forward. And that'll bring us to the last part of this video. While the two picks coming off very similar looking plays is discouraging, I actually found myself more frustrated with just how out of rhythm he looked in several of his dropbacks throughout the game. I wanted to highlight this 3 and out where I really started to notice it. On the first play, I think you just hope Young and his receiver had a miscommunication because he gets the ball out way too early and way in front of his guy. Nobody has a chance to make a play, even though Young has a pretty clean pocket to work from. On the next one, the lack of rhythm is personified with the snap catching Young by surprise in his stomach. And again, Young throws this one away and he doesn't let a play be made on it, even though he's got time in the pocket to step into it and give someone a chance. And finally, on the third down, I got myself worked up about his footwork. And look, I'm not a quarterback's coach, I didn't play, so by all means, I don't know what I'm talking about, but this drop back just didn't seem right to me. It's super lackadaisical and it just seems to lack any sort of timing. And while he does find a guy, he takes a half step toward him and then whips a throw in that direction, flat-footed and awkward. Credit to Young for very nearly getting it there anyways, but still, all of these throws lack the type of drive on the ball that he's capable of. Young has to get his feet under him to connect with receivers reliably and keep the ball away from defenders. It's going to be a long year for him if he doesn't. No doubt, Carolina fans were hoping for more from their new quarterback. And while it's a week that everyone will sooner forget, let's remember that Young's debut wasn't a disaster. But Carolina has to take the cuffs off of the offense, and Young has to be willing to take shots downfield before the fourth quarter. Otherwise, he's going to continue to be forced to work in tight spaces, while savvy defensive coordinators will bait the young quarterback into mistakes. Some of Young's timing was a bit concerning to me, but hey, I guess it's nothing you can't explain away with some early season speed bumps that will get worked out as everyone gets more familiar with each other. Keep an eye on how the Panthers' offensive aggression transforms throughout these next few weeks and how Young's feet look in the pocket. Those points may tell us the story of his rookie season and what's possible for years to come. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to give it a like if you did enjoy it and consider subscribing to the channel so you can catch the next one. Thanks. Bye.